Working, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Hello and welcome. It is time for round 5 of the Division 1 Championship here at ISRL Esports, and we have a treat for you all here today. It is time for the Canadian Grand Prix here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec. Our home Grand Prix here for the ISRL Championship, and as Ariel Nathan, who's had a dominant performance, comes around the final corner, I'll quickly take you through a lap, and Jamie, who's with me in the booth, will take you through another lap a little bit later in the session. But you can see turn 1 and turn 2, you take a lot of curb in turn 1, but just kiss the curb in turn 2. A lot of curb here in this Vettel chicane, as I'll call it, here on both corners. Nice lines here from Nathan through in sector 1. Through sector 2, a lot of curb here, and you just want to kiss that corner there quickly on the power, but up the gears very early so that you don't over-rotate the car and lose the back end. Now, this is a tricky corner. You want to take a lot of curb. There is a bit of a theme here around this circuit. You do take a lot of curb, which leads to a lot of invalidations, but Nathan, he's got the lap sorted here, down through the, I'll say the hairpin, l'épingle, as we call it here, quickly on the power, up the gears, get the car going up to 200 miles an hour, 300 kilometers an hour, and counting plus. Then quickly right around the 75-meter board, hard on the brakes, take a lot of curb here into the first entry of that final chicane. Watch out for that wall on the right side, wall of champions there, as it's a 109.2 from Nathan, quickly beaten by QVR Campbell, who has a lot of pace here around this circuit. So a driver to keep an eye out for. XL Gary with the soft tires sets a 109.1 as he goes up into second, but we're gonna start seeing the lap times really start to fall here, as let's jump with here, let's take a look. I think after just starting a lap, let's go over to the McLaren here of Nolan, running a lap right now as he's through sector 1, opening up DRS as he's heading down that back DRS straight, looking to get that first lap time on the board. We'll see what he can do here, if he can muster something good. QVR Campbell on the medium tires, he's still got that time to beat early on in the session, and the only driver to break into the sub 109s as of now. Although Pease came very close with a near 109 flat, 109.080, but on the soft tires. So we'll see if any of the medium tire runners, any of those soft tire runners can put that lap together. Nolan coming around the final corner now as he's going to cross the line, and it's going to be third fastest. It's a 109.1, and I'm hearing a little bit of sound here. Jamie, are you back with us? Are you set up and ready to go, or still need a little bit? I think he still needs a little bit here, so we'll continue on for the meantime. But as mentioned, we will have Jamie joining us here once he gets his microphone sorted out. As oh no, XL Tin Can takes probably the worst invalidation here of the circuit near that wall of champions. Those final few corners, because not only does that invalidate your the lap you're currently on, but it also essentially nullifies that next lap that you're going to want to take here, as you can see. So essentially a done and dusted here for Tin Can on this attempt. And we've got Knight here in the lobby, coming for round 2 here at his home circuit, home Grand Prix here. Was running pretty good in Division 2 for the longest time, but got caught up there. But that's not the way you want to be starting, with a bit of a spin there through wall of champions, getting that car back on track here, but still tons of time to get another lap time set. So I'll check again. Jamie, are you with us, or still getting worked out here? All right, I think he's still getting worked out. I think I'll just wait to hear Jamie's wonderful voice before we check in, just so I'm not doing constant check-ins every now and then as he's getting everything sorted out and ready to go on his end. But you can see here so far in this first section of in this first portion of short qualifying, it's still QVR Campbell at the top of the leaderboards with those medium tires. So QVR Campbell showing a lot of pace here in these early stages. Did I hear something there on the other end?
Is it working? Hello?
Yeah, it is working now. Hello, how you doing? Oh, did we lose you?
We tried
Oh,
30
there we
minutes
go. I
later,
think
it
we
should
got
be.
you.
I don't know if
Oh,
it's... Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
Is
me?
it? Yeah, is there no crackling in the mic? Is it all good?
There might be a little bit of crackling there, but I'll let you know if it gets a little unbearable on my end. I guess we'll keep an eye out on the stream as well, just to see if anybody in the chat makes mention of it as well. But I mean, Jamie, happy you're able to join us here for the race once again. Well, sorry, once again, to give you a sit rep, QVR Campbell leading the timetables here, a 108.8 on the medium tires is the lap to beat in this stage of qualifying. Coxey came close with a 109.079, 1/1000th of a second quicker than Pease, who rounds out the top three, with Nolan and Jamie 1 rounding out the top five here so far, with 10.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session here.
That's very interesting, being quickest on the medium compound tyre, but yes, the initial pace with 10 minutes to go, but we'll see that as he switches over to the soft compound tyre. But I think I'd rather have started the soft compound tyres around here because it is an easier one-stop, but people have tended to go on the two-stop before when the virtual safety car or when the safety car appears, and Dan goes quickest there with an 8.7. Expect the wheel users to benefit from here because there's obviously a wheel-based track, so as QVR Campbell then goes for the lap on the medium compound tyres on the same set, so let's see how he takes it around this 4.3 kilometer circuit. A little lock up into turn 1 and turn 2, but rotates the car slightly coming out turn. Ooh, you can see a bit of wheel spin at the exit of turn 2 there. Now it's the Sebastian Vettel chicane, dips a wheel on the grass and slightly, but takes the corners very nicely indeed. Just on the verge of hitting the wall there, but obviously around here you want to use all the track there, coming into turn number 7, I believe, hit that inside curb and get a really good exit quick out here. It's very easy to lose the rear of the car here if you get on the car, if you get on the throttle too early or hit that curb. Come in, break it under the bridge lane, hit the apex here, then ride the curve through here, which he does very nice indeed, using all of the track. This track is so satisfying to watch when you have the absolute laps set up, and he goes 3/10 quickest as well, so he could be taking part of pole position, but despite being on the medium compound tyres, QVR Campbell. So he's really on a charge here on these mediums, as the DRS has enabled them for the third time. 3 DRS zones around here. Now it's the final 2 corners we go. There's a McLaren ahead of us, but hopefully he gets out the way to start his flying lap. And really want to attack these curves, be absolute full committed to here. DRS enabled for this third DRS zone, and now he's going to pop himself up into P1 with an 8.3, so he goes quicker on the medium compound tyres. Good performance so far from QVR Campbell. If he goes on the softs, he might be the ones getting the 7s.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, when I'm looking here at the gap, even, Zizak Kush, he said a 108.7 on the soft tires. With the medium tires, QVR Campbell seems to be essentially untouched, other than those, I'll say that minute and a little bit that we saw Dan get ahead. But QVR Campbell coming back on that same set of medium tires and just setting an even quicker lap here. So showing a lot of pace, and I mean, a little bit of that prediction that we saw earlier today from Farrell, predicting QVR Campbell to have a strong showing here in Canada. So far in qualifying, really seeming to be the case, as like we're saying, a 108.3 on that same set of medium tires. He seems to be the driver to beat. Closest competitor possibly on the medium tires who's got a lap time set is Ariel Nathan in 10th right now, but he's quickly switched over to a set of softs. I wanted to see what Pease could do on his set of mediums, but as we saw there, going a little bit hard into the braking zone of the hairpin there. So that's going to be essentially an abandoned lap for him, and it was invalidated as well, allowing Knight to go through. Who's going to be looking to improve on his time, I'm sure. Jerome, no time on the board, but has an invalidation to deal with, so it will not be an improvement this time around, I don't think. Knight brought himself up to a 10th position, a 109.1 on the soft tires, so a much better lap, a little more representative there of his pace, as XL Gary comes around the final corner and he jumps up to 6th with a 108.9. And I am seeing here QVR Campbell, he's showing a set of soft tires, albeit still in the pit lane, and a driver that I've seen up here a couple times here so far in this qualifying session, and who really needs to have a good race, I feel, is Jamie 1 in the Haas, up into second right now. And we know that Jamie 1, he's had maybe not the best of races. I think he's been caught in a couple unfortunate incidents, but showing a lot of pace here in Canada, and a good way to avoid a lot of those incidents is, well, get yourself ahead of the group, so that way you don't have to worry about having to fight through the grid. And for Jamie 1, doing a good job of that. A 1:08.6 is his best time on the board so far.
Yeah, like you said, I know Jamie and QVR Campbell in that Phantom Matter as well not had the best races, so hopefully they could have a clean slate here in Canada. We've got Javuvis on a lap time, using the slipstream on the back of Gary, who pulls out of the way, and Javuvis' lap has been nice and tidy so far as he makes his way into the final two corners then. And let's see then as he approaches the DRS range, let's see if he can get close to QVR Campbell's pole time, and he goes second place with an 8.4. If I go on the time graphic, QVR Campbell's best lap time is on the soccer part time, as it says.
Oh yeah, look at that. I think I might have missed that. I might have had the best on, I guess, instead of the fitted tires. But I don't know what it is. But either way, I guess it is set on the soft tires, which I guess would explain the I guess the time difference from QVR. But I mean, there we have it. I guess I just don't know how to read the tables here today, but it's all right. We will. I will persist on either way for everybody watching at home. As I mean, I was watching Dan for a little bit, but I think you might have had a little bit of a moment somewhere along the way, or because does not look like there was too much of an improvement on his lap time, as he's still in 5th. Who else is running a lap?
He's a Kush. He's about a 10th up in the first sector. He's just a validator coming out of turn number. I think he took too much curb there, sadly for him. So his middle sector would have been a 10th up, but obviously a little bit of assisted using extra curb, which he shouldn't supposed to do. So still got plenty of time to set another 4 minutes and 20 seconds. But I could have swore I saw QVR has no look in retired in the pit lane. I think he has.
I believe so.
I could have sworn I saw QVR Campbell set his best lap on the mediums. I saw that with my own eyes. I'm not quite sure why he says the softs, but if he did it on the softs, then it's still good. Yeah, he did it on the softs, his best lap time. But I saw him do it on the mediums.
Well, that's the thing, because I thought I saw him on the mediums, and I know you had mentioned he was on the mediums, but the game is showing the softs. I don't know if that's just, let's say, a little bit of a bug, or if he went out and set another lap on the softs without us even realizing it. But I guess that is the case either way from what we can see. XL Rocco in the meantime, though, on what appears to be 2-lap-old soft tires, sets a near 109 flat, puts him up into inside that top 10, sitting in 9th right now. Might be looking to do a second lap, but as I say that, I see that red track map. It's an invalidation, so won't go for too much. Possibly just trying to hurry to the pit lane so he can take that time to get one more lap time set. I'm seeing Nathan, possibly a little bit of my connection too, but looked initially like he was going very deep into the hairpin, but swiftly corrected. So it's a little worrisome from Ariel Nathan if he's having some connection issues, but he's continuing on the lap here, looking to improve out of a I guess as far as he's concerned, a poor P14. Jumps up to 4th though with a 108.6 on what is 2-lap-old soft tires. So a little bit of a better qualifying time, and that puts him in a much better position here, with short qualifying ticking down, heading down towards the last, I'll say 2-3 minutes. Just once we get to see that time, once the yellow flag decides it wants to get out of the way there. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go, as I just saw that there.
Your buddy ISRL just crossed the line to go stay in P13. He was just down in that final sector, but he had loads of traffic, to be fair to him. So I think there's still more time to be found for ISRL there, as he's just validated his second run as well. And XL Gary has also invalidated second when he was going for another flying lap. But with QVR Campbell, he's about 300 quicker in the first sector as he hooks up turn number 6 and 7 nicely there, gets on the throttle and makes on the second DRS zone then as he makes his way down into turn 8 and turn 9, breaking under the shadow in the bridge there, taking a lot of curve for these two, but not too much of course, and using all of it on the outside as well. So very nice through there, following the lines very nicely, and it's a 40.4. He's about 100 quicker in that middle set on his best lap, but he's had a slight lock up into the hairpin there as we get out of it, now making our way towards the third DRS lane actually, as yellow flags are approaching, so there's cars in the way, but hopefully they get out of the way. One of them's an AlphaTauri, and he gets out of the way nicely then, as QVR Campbell makes his way towards the final two corners then, absolutely spot on through there, hits the wall, but I don't think they'll hit him too much, and he makes his way towards the line there to set a 8.1, it said a 7 a moment ago, but it was actually an 8.1, so that's a fantastic lap time there, as he's 3/10 clear of Giroud Visser then, who is also on a lap time, no, he's actually backed out of it, has Giroud Visser, so we're just waiting for other people to cross the line. Isa Kush, as he making his way through the end of the middle sector, he's 2/10 up, so he could find himself on P2 if he keeps this lap time up then, as he gets the car rotated in very nicely there, gets on the throttle, and there's an Aston Martin ahead of us, who is XL Gary. I think XL Gary wasn't a lap, but he validated it, so hopefully he picks up the pace because he can't back out now, he's too far ahead. He's actually going to pit lane, so he gets out of the way nicely there for Isa Kush, as DRS that is enabled for Isa Kush as he makes his way towards the line. What is it going to be? It's going to be an 8.3, so he does go P2, and he finds more time in that middle set, in that last sector, so that was his last lap time, as the clock is ticking down then. Jamian is on his out lap somewhere on the track, he's actually gone
just across the line
to... Yeah, let's see how Jamian takes it. He's currently in P4, can he find himself back on into P3 where he was initially? But Giroud Visser's at the pit lane, so he won't improve. As we make our way into turn 3 and turn 4, this can be very difficult corners because you have to use all of the curb there, and if you don't do, you can find yourself ending up invalidated. But he's got 1/10 quicker, which is a good sign for Jamie there. Makes his way coming out of turn 6 and turn 7, then nicely at the exit there. DRS enabled for this second DRS zone as he makes his way towards turn...
Apologies, I was switching over just to see who was going to cross the line, and Pease took a big hit into the wall of champions as he was trying to get his last lap in. Unfortunate for Pease, as he's going to have to stay in P14. Carmentalus, though, he gets across the line, but not an improvement, as now I saw Jamian a 10.5 quicker, so I'll let you finish that up there for Jamian.
Looking good for Jamie, just these last two corners, which is the most difficult part of the track in my opinion. Oh, I thought he validated there, but just on my screen you can see the tyre there of Pease. Jamie makes his way towards the line, what's it going to be? Oh, it's an 8.5 and he's a 10th away from Giroud Visser, so lost a little bit of time in that last sector, but nonetheless he's on the second row and he's in a good position. So Jamie and having a much better qualifying than before, because we know he struggled on previous occasions, but at least he's up there. So QVR Campbell then is on pole position with Isa Kush in P2, Giroud Visser in P3 with Jamie in P4 and Nathan, then Dan, Killer Blue in P7, good job to Killer Blue in there, Williams, Carmentalus in P8, Gary in P9 and Larkin rounds out the top 10 then, so that's qualifying over. That went so quick, that qualifying session.
Yeah, honestly, just flew by here here in Canada, which is something to say with how quick the lap is. As you can see, 1 minute 8 seconds. 0.1 is the best lap time here from QVR Campbell, as he mentioned. Isaac Kush finds himself in what's a bit more of a comfortable position for him up in second on the front row of the grid, with Jerome, Jamie, and Jamie 1 rounding out the second row. Nathan taking the top 5. What I noticed here as well is that every driver essentially down to the top 15 separated by 1 full second. XL Tin Can not too far behind, 1.1 seconds back. But crucially, Ariel Wouter, no lap time set, and I did see him hit the track earlier on in qualifying, so I think Wouter struggling with track limits in this qualifying session, unable to get a lap time set. Although I do believe he is still on the racing on the pad. So Jamie, as you mentioned, with how this track plays apologies, that timer's a little distracting for me, if I'm being honest. But as you were mentioning, Jamie, this track is a little bit more beneficial for wheel users, so maybe Wouter feeling the effects of that, struggling with those track limits. And what is going on here with the lobby? We'll keep an eye out on that. We were ticking down here, but timer's restarting. Haven't seen this before, if I'm being honest.
I don't know if it's just me, but there's a lot of people leaving on my screen. Is that the same with you? Like, I've seen a lot.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot leaving. I'm just keeping an eye out on the Discord.
Yeah, like you're saying with Welter, it's such a difficult track to get hooked up, and once you get it hooked up, it's very satisfying because you're carrying a lot of speed into the corners, which you need to do, like hitting the apex. It's all about car placement and consistency around here because this track is notorious for picking up penalties and warnings, so it can be a real killer, especially those final two corners where you have to absolutely send it in those final two corners. And also overtaking around here, if you want to overtake, you got to be fully ahead before the corner starts, because if you go side by side in those last two corners, one of you is most likely to not make it out of there in one piece. So we've got to end it before the final two corners, and the most preferred overtaking spots is usually down at turn number 1, and I've left the session myself.
Yeah, I think there is going to be a restart here from what I can see, or at least from what the Discord is mentioning. So yeah, it's really just us left here in the lobby. So, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're getting a new lobby set up very shortly to jump into the race here for Canada. So I'll end the stream off just temporarily until we get all that set up, and we will be back on air very shortly.